All right, welcome. We call this Facilities and Finance Subcommittee meeting to order, September 23rd, 2025 at 4 p.m. Get a roll call, please.
Alex Erdosian.
Putting in.
Bill Move. Lester Mascon.
Eric Sahakian.
Ernesto Mora.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Any public comment? No. All right, with that, we move into our first agenda item, facilities project status update. Mr. Kyle Lynn and Ernesto Mora.
Thank you, Mr. Mascon. We're gonna move the ASB Works because we have a guest speaker with ASB just to showcase what ASB is all about, how we migrated from Blue Bear to ASB Works and some of the features that we have with ASB Works in terms of students, parents, community members can purchase goods and supplies through ASB Works. They can also now, instead of going through the process paying the district office for purchasing goods and services through a purchase order process, through ASB Works, you can now use pay the vendor directly instead of going through the district because ASB has its own account, its own fund. But with that, Gary Silva is a.
But just to clarify, we're going to move the ASB Works update ahead of the facilities and
Yes,
projects.
correct,
Okay. And Mr. Gary Silva is going to be presenting through ASB Works.
Correct. Yeah.
Welcome, Gary.
Hi there. Good afternoon, folks. Thank you so much for having me today in your board meeting. Excited to give you guys a little bit of preview of ASB Works. Wonderful. Does anyone have any questions for me on the software before I share my screen and we get started?
No.
Okay. Wonderful, guys. Well, my name's Gary Silva. I've been with ASB Works for just about 4 years now. Okay, let me see. I'm getting a message here that says sharing is not turned on. If someone would not
On
mind
now.
activating that for me, then I can share my screen.
It is on now.
Okay, let's try this. Wonderful. Perfect. All right, folks. Well, we are excited to bring you guys on to ASB Works. Today, we're just going to be kind of running through some of the different modules that your bookkeepers will be using on a day-to-day basis. If I'm touching on anything that is not relevant to your guys' district, please let me know. I can skip past that, or if there's anything that doesn't make sense, again, please speak up. Happy to circle back and touch on things in more detail as well. So this is the welcome page of ASB Works. This is just one of my test accounts that we're going to be looking at today. I always like to describe ASB Works as kind of a three-tiered product. So with your purchase of ASB Works, you're getting ASB Works, which is our online general ledger. This is where you will go to write checks, make deposits, do those monthly bank reconciliations, run all of the various financial reports, sales reports, and student reports. You're also getting access to a point of sale for in-person transactions and a web store for online transactions as well. Now, Kai mentioned that in the past, you guys had purchase orders being run through the district office. Moving forward, sites will have the ability to create their own purchase orders. Of course, once they create their own purchase orders, we do recommend they still follow whatever PO approval process is mandated by the district office. They'll then be able to come through and write a check. So I'm going to come into here really quickly, run through the purchase order really quick. We'll say supplies for September event. Sites can enter who authorized and signed off on those purchase orders as well. I'm just going to keep this one nice and broad for now for $500. Save that PO and a purchase order is printed. I do not have address information tied to my vendors. Your guys' sites will, so that address will be printed on the PO. Everything that encompasses that purchase order with our FCMAT mandated signature lines as well. Once we have the PO, we could pop over to the Write New Check module. Go ahead and enter that same vendor that was on our initial purchase order. You'll see all of those open encumbrances pop up automatically. We can hit Pay Selected, and the check is going to autofill with all that information here. We'll go ahead and select Save. That check has now been moved over to my print queue, where I can choose to print out one check, multiple checks, all at one time, onto check stock, of course, and then hand out to the vendor or individual. All right, guys, that's a really quick run through of payments within ASB Works. Moving on to the admin tab, I want to take a brief look at account admin. This is the general ledger for the school. So all of the club accounts, something like junior class of 2027, all of these different drama club, baseball, boys basketball, everything like that is going to be stored here in account admin. We have lots of district level controls that can be placed into the account as well. If you do not want your sites to add additional ledger accounts by themselves, we can put those sort of controls in for you. If you allow them to add new ledger accounts as they get new clubs on campus, schools can always come here and add new accounts or edit existing accounts as needed. All right, folks, moving on from account admin, I want to talk briefly about the individuals module as well. Now, we do have what we call an auto FTP import with all the student information systems. I apologize, Kai, please remind me who you guys are using for your student information system.
Aries, and it has been synced already this morning.
Wonderful, that is
So
right. Yes, I know. Yes, I do know you told me this afternoon that it was synced, so that is great news. So what that means, folks, is that any changes made to the roster in Aries are going to be automatically batched into ASB Works every 24 hours. So if the school gets a new student halfway through the year, that student's going to be automatically brought through. If it's the end of the school year, moving into next fiscal year, Logan, who may have been a junior last year, will now be automatically marked as a senior. Now we're going to get to item payments and creating items, making sales in just a moment here, which is one of the reasons why it's very important to have an updated student roster so that we can make sure we know exactly what student it is we're receiving to. And if we need to limit items based off of grade level or eligibility, that sort of thing, we always know we have an updated student roster, which is going to be automatically pulled from Aries. Also in this section, folks, you are able to grant access to other users as well. So I could filter by teachers or maybe others. And if I want to look at one of my teachers here, Eric Wright, scrolling over here, I can see he's also listed as a teacher. Selecting the little head and shoulders icon, I can grant Eric access into ASB Works, give him a username, a password, and then most importantly, I can select what role I would like him to have in the system. Now, I think this is a really great segue to quickly look at our online manual. We have a really great online manual with step-by-step instructions, screenshots on all the different facets of ASB Works. But at the moment, I want to direct your attention to the role guide. This is where bookkeepers can grant out access to teachers, coaches, staff members, anyone who needs to view the account in a limited fashion. Most of your primary users are going to be marked as bookkeepers, which means they have full access into the system. They can write checks, do bank reconciliations, run all the different various reports. Now, we may not need Eric to have that far-reaching of access in this case. It looks like we have only given him access to view the baseball account. So maybe Eric is my baseball coach, rather than having to wait for the bookkeeper to run those financial reports, confirm how much money is in the account, confirm if that PO for new baseball jerseys that we're looking for has been created. Eric can log in on his phone because ASB Works is web-based and run that report himself. All right, guys, moving on from individuals, I want to talk a little bit about item admin as well. I always like to describe item admin as kind of the heartbeat of the system. So anytime we're going to be making sales to students, typically we first need to build an item for that. So all sorts of things that schools sell, prom tickets, homecoming tickets, PE clothes, yearbooks, tickets to the local fundraiser or a field trip, AP tests, anything it is that we're going to be selling, we can build an item for that and then choose to either sell it online via our web store or in person via the point of sale. Now, there's lots of different item types, lots of different ways to customize an item, but product tends to make up about 95% of the items that are sold. So I'd like to go through an example of one of our products here today. All right, guys, so I'm going to start here in the PE shirt and look at an existing product. Now, as I mentioned, there's lots of customization we can do when building an item, but there's really only 4 pieces of required info, so it can be very, very quick depending on what it is we're selling and what information we need to collect from the customer. First, here is the item category. This is only used for organization. So how am I going to find these items if I'm selling them in person as a staff member? How are mom or dad or the student going to find this item if we choose to offer it for sale on our web store? Next, of course, is the item name. In this case, we're looking at our PE t-shirt. Now, we can skip over everything else in this section, although I do want to quickly direct your attention to the long description section. Anything entered into this section will appear on the school's web store. Now, this section also takes HTML coding, so you can get pretty creative. One of the more common ways I've seen this section used is for dance tickets. So lots of schools have students sign off on maybe a code of conduct on the rules for a dance. So in here, we could explain dance starts at 7 o'clock, doors open at 6:45, dance is over at 9:30. Please drop off your students in the parking lot behind the gym. Here's a link to our dance agreement, and we're going to make parents and students e-sign that they have read that dance agreement and they agree to the rules before they purchase that ticket. Another example, maybe we're going on a field trip. We need mom and dad to submit some documents for their students before they can go on the field trip. We can put a link to a Google Dropbox in this section, have them submit all of that information before they purchase the ticket. So lots of really cool customization like that we can do like that. And we have a really awesome team of consultants that is happy to help you guys do that if you ever have any questions. Oops, let me cancel out of that. Oh, and then finally, of course, you are able to upload an image into your item, which will appear both on the point of sale and on the web store as well. Moving over to sales info, last 2 required bits when selling an item. How much does this item cost? $20 in this case. Which one of my ledger accounts is going to make the money every single time this item is sold? And as a reminder, folks, ASB Works is completely web-based, so there's never any import or export process when we are making sales. As soon as a sale takes place, whether it's via your web store, whether it's in person, cash, check, or card, you're going to see those sales reports, financial reports, student reports, all updated automatically in live time. Now, let's spend a couple moments talking about some of these different buttons here. First is fixed price. This is going to stay clicked 99% of the time. Just means this item always costs $20. Next is identify student on purchase. This is also going to stay clicked most of the time. This means this item needs to be sold to a specific student. So certain things like dance tickets, yearbooks, AP tests, those are all very important that we have a record of exactly what student made the purchase and when they made this purchase. It means that if you're offering an item for sale on your web store, students must either log in and purchase through their own account, or a parent must purchase through a parent account, where they've added their student into their My Family section, and that should make a little bit more sense later as we jump into the web store. If you have something that you want to sell to kind of the broader public, something maybe like a ticket to a football game or to a school play, we could unselect that, which allows grandma, a community member, to go online and purchase an item without creating an account. Sales limiters. This is my favorite section of item admin. This is where we can really start to limit who can purchase an item and when they can purchase an item. So we have time-specific limiters. We can set a custom date range here. Once we're outside of this window, the item will automatically pull itself off the web store. So again, using that long description section, we can mention sales are only open through Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Set our time-specific window. It'll automatically pull itself off at that time. Grade limiters. Maybe we are selling tickets to a junior prom, so we're going to limit this to 11th graders only. Or we are selling parking permits, and you must be an upperclassman in order to purchase this item. Quantity limit. This is different than inventory. This means how much of this particular item can each student purchase. We even have a balance due limiter. So I could say if students owe me any money whatsoever, they are not allowed to purchase this item. Or if they owe me more than $35, they're not able to purchase this item, so on and so forth. And my favorite part of sales limiters is the status list. This is where we can upload a custom group of students and either restrict them or require them to be on that list if they'd like to purchase. Most common example would be something like a no-go list. So maybe we are selling tickets to homecoming. We've got a group of students who have too many suspensions, absences, didn't make grades. For whatever reason, these students are not authorized to purchase this item. Upload that list of kids to our no-go list, which is very simple to do, and restrict them from being able to purchase. Works the same way in reverse. Maybe Leadership Club is selling t-shirts or tickets to an event. If you want to purchase this item, you must be one of those 20 kids that's part of leadership. Upload that list of leadership kids, and we are going to make it a requirement to be on that list if you'd like to purchase.
Hey, Gary.
Yes, questions?
Yeah, so this group here, I think, was probably more interested in a kind of overview and not really just detail of a deep dive into the software. So I think, I don't know that anyone here is actually going to be utilizing the software, so I think just a high overview of some of the highlights would probably be more preferred than a deep dive.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. No problem. I'm happy to kind of buzz through this a little bit quickly. I know Kai mentioned that we did have some questions on how to limit items to particular students. So that's why I wanted to touch on the sales limiter section. Because anytime we're making sales, everything is going to be generated through item admin. So when we limit sales, how to do that. But absolutely, yeah, let's move on past item admin, guys.
We have one question.
Yeah, more questions.
Is there a point of sale fee that you guys charge like some of the other companies do for? So if it's a $20 ticket, do you guys charge a $2 fee or is it just $20?
Very good question. So anytime we're processing with credit cards, there is going to be a credit card fee, and that comes from the credit card processor. There is no fee associated with cash and check transactions. So if you accept cash and check, $20, it's exactly $20. Now for credit card transactions, the rate for the processor is 3% plus 35 cents per transaction. You are mandated per FICMAT to be able to pass those fees along for web store transactions only.
So Gary, if the t-shirt's $20, says 3%, so that would be $26. Do we mark it up or do we
Yeah, great question.
5 cents?
So every district has different mandates the way they handle those credit card fees. Most try to stay in line with FICMAT's policies. You can enter your convenience fee rate into your web store management section here. So I entered 3% and 35 cents. So it's going to automatically tack that on. So if I open up my school web store here.
You put your inventory 23 votes then, so.
And let me see. Let me quickly log in, folks, just so you can see what it looks like.
It gets only charged to the person purchasing, not to you.
That's the convenience fee or the processing fee, but Gary, when you enter your inventory, you're putting in a cost and then a sales price, so you can calculate a margin.
You can enter that if you'd like. Yeah, so that was one thing we didn't get to in item admin. So if we went to enter the inventory, there is a section here where we can enter the cost. So again, it's all going to be done through the item admin module. All right, guys. So jumping back to my web store. So let's go ahead and go to athletics, baseball windbreaker, large for Matt. So when we come to my cart, we have $55 that's set to go to my baseball account. The parent in this case would pay $57. So for the 55 here, let me minimize this. So the parent would pay the 55. That's all set to go to baseball account for the baseball windbreaker. And then in this case, the 3% plus 35 cents is add up to $2 convenience fee. So parent pays a total of $57, and then this $2 gets held in a separate ledger account, which you could then use at the end of the month to pay off those monthly credit card fees that you owe back to the processor.
On that windbreaker or any kind of gear, is that something we have a third party doing, or do you guys have a gear store as well?
So we do not have a gear store. So whatever gear stores you guys are currently using, we do recommend using those. Our platform is really only for selling that gear.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Any other questions on the web store, folks? So like I mentioned, we've got those item categories. They can filter through here. Depending on if a student meets the qualifications to purchase that item, it'll either let them add it to the cart or the student or parent would get an error message telling them why they don't meet the qualifications to purchase.
Gary, what about event management? So selling tickets at the football game? Is there a handheld POS app or anything like that for doing?
Absolutely. So we do have an add-on module. It's called Event Tracker. I'll have to check with Cindy. I don't believe that was included in your guys' initial contract.
We did purchase that too.
You did purchase Event
Point of
Tracker.
sale system, the sliding card, yes.
Wonderful. Let me switch to a different test account, folks. Sorry, I'm kind of got different things for different accounts here.
Yeah.
Is this just for the high school or just all?
It's only for the high school and
Yeah,
we're.
okay, so it's a test run to high school, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's most commonly used for dances, events, things where students are going to be purchasing tickets, fundraisers. It could also be used for school rallies, that sort of thing. When we come in here, a ticketed event, I built my item and I built my event and I've tied the junior prom ticket to it. So every student that purchases a prom ticket is going to be automatically uploaded into the list. Again, this is completely web-based, so you can use this on as many different devices all at one time. So if you have 4 different check-in lines to the dance or to the football game, everyone can be using it and it's all updating in live time. And then clicking into my junior prom event, it looks like I didn't reset that. You'd have all students here. It does take barcode technology. So if Jared comes up, I scan Jared's ID card, it's going to automatically check him in. Same thing, I can check out or remove students as well if there's behavioral issues. And then we have lots of different reporting that we can do within here as well to show me all the students who attended, students who bought tickets but did not attend, maybe any students that were removed from the dance in case we need to provide that information to the parents as well.
So is there a check-in, check-out feature? I know you said check-in, but so if you're bringing students in, they check in and then as they leave, is there a checkout feature or no?
Yes, so here's the checkout feature right there. Most schools don't use that to, at the end of the dance, check everyone out. It would typically be used for some sort of behavioral issue in case a student got removed from an event, and then we need to be able to provide that information to the parents in case they ask.
I mean, if you had a situation where you had emergency or something and you needed to check students out to verify that they all are out of the premises, then you could use that.
Absolutely. We could use this, and again, it takes barcode technology, so you could just scan ID cards as they're leaving and it would check them all out.
Gary, with we sell an ASB card to students that gives them access to like multiple events throughout the year. Is that all managed through here as well?
That is as well. So that would be a membership type item. So you can see I've built mine. It's called ASB card. Also within item admin. So if I'm selling to tickets to prom, I'm selling that for $85. Underneath discounts, I can put an ASB card holder discount. And I could maybe sell that for $75 to any student who has that ASB card. So that discount is going to be automatically applied as soon as they try to purchase it.
So we also have ASB cards for the parents for football games or whatever. Is there a way that that is also can be tracked as a parent with an ASB card, or is it just students?
Parent ASB card. That's a bit of an interesting example here. I don't believe I've worked with any districts that do parent ASB cards. We could absolutely, so the answer is yes, we could still build a separate item and track that. That would be one of those examples where we'd probably want to have our consultant dive into that a little bit deeper with you guys during training next week.
Yeah, so basically what happens is the parents buy it for however much and then they can get in the football, like a season pass for football games, basketball games. So they buy one stop shop.
But we would still want to be tracking attendance to see how many people.
Yeah, because they have to show at the event, they have to basically check in or check out, so it'd be the same. Not check
Got
in,
it.
they have to show their card to get in.
Got it. That's a great point. I would probably recommend doing some sort of event for that using events admin like we talked about. We could upload a list of all parents who have purchased those ASB cards that get them into the games for free for those season passes. Check in those parents using those cards as they come in, and then using this little reset feature here, we could just reset the event each time there's a football game.
Right.
So we wouldn't have to recreate a new event each time.
On the event management, are they actually able to purchase at the gate as they're coming in?
They are able to purchase at the gate. That's where we would probably recommend utilizing the point of sale. This is what we do for in-person transactions. So coming here, I don't know if I have any football tickets. Football ticket for $10, that would be expensive for a high school game. But this is where we could set this up to just go ahead and sell. It's asking who it's for because I set this for a specific student, but we could open this up to the general public, so people can buy tickets as they come in.
That's what we charge, so.
Here we go. I love to hear that.
So would that be through the card reader then?
So for the card, yeah, so for the point of sale, you could take multiple different payment methods. Did you guys order a card reader with Cindy?
Yes.
Wonderful. So yeah, so when I come in here and I purchase an item, we'll say tickets. Oops. Class trip, that's going to be expensive. We're going to come here to finish and pay. This is where we have our different payment methods. So cash, check, or card. Finish, close out, and then on to the next transaction. So it can be done very, very quickly.
Then if you wanted to set up an event and throw some QR codes up, people could scan as they're walking up as well to purchase an event pass, and they could just check in when they got to the gate.
Absolutely. Yep. We could do a QR code to your student web store. That way they could maybe buy that season pass right there, get the event, scan it on their phone, and then they're into the event from there. All right, guys. After the initial receipt happens online or in person, anything cash and check is going to come in here to make deposit. So the bookkeepers can make those deposits. You guys never have to worry about making deposits on credit card transactions. Those automatically get recorded in the system.
Yeah, go talk, yeah.
So I can deposit cash and check. And then of course we have dozens of different reports here, financial reports, sales reports to show me how many students have purchased particular items, what their payment method was. And then, of course, we have things like monthly bank reconciliations, bank reconciliation reports. Anything else I didn't touch on, folks, that you guys were interested in?
We're done.
I was taking notes so that when I said some point in time.
The balance sheet report tells you
The
the different types of programs for football, basketball, baseball, and how much, what their balance are like for each one.
Oh, I'm sorry. So to check account balances for specific accounts. Yeah, guys, let me share my screen again. Where was I? Yes. All right, guys. So that would be an account statement report. This is one of the most common reports in the system. So if I want to run this for my baseball account, this is one of those few accounts that's available, few reports that's available to someone with teacher level access, so we can grant out access to other users. All of our reports are based off a specific time period. This one autofills to this year. We could do different drop-down date list, custom date list, PDF, Excel, or HTML. So I ran baseball account for this fiscal year. It's going to show me I started the year with just over $13,000. Here's every single transaction that's affected my baseball account so far this fiscal year. Showing me I've lost just over $77 this year. Current balance of $13,132.56. And then of course we have all open encumbrances. So open purchase orders or invoices affecting this account as well, with the ultimate encumbered balance.
Just to clarify, this is a test school, not anything with ours.
Exactly. Yes, this is a test school. We will absolutely never share your guys' data with anybody. This is all just fake transactions that I have within one of my testing accounts. We also have financial reports, folks. We won't spend too much time here, but I do like to touch on them. Is not every accounting software carries them. I do believe Blue Bear, I know, offers their trial balance and a few financial reports as well, but trial balance would be an overall snapshot of the entire general ledger with total debits and total credits, every single one of our accounts with the account numbers, names, and types.
We're
For
rolling.
assets liability. I'm sorry, please go ahead.
Will be just, first best guess, and then we'll be looking at, high def,
When will it roll out the high desert?
probably next year.
Is there a reason for waiting?
We just wanna make sure, we pilot this correctly before we roll it out. We wanna test it out first.
Is there any way to test it and see if we can put it in second semester?
We could.
I mean, if it's working,
That's what I was gonna mention, you know, because it's being piloted, tested now, ironing out the kinks,
Mhm.
and possibilities probably in the spring.
Yeah, we could definitely do
I'm just saying that because to my left, we have the principal and.
that. You know what's good for us.
Welcome to that timeline.
she's lucky to see like.
I wrote down all the things that it does that our current system doesn't do, so that my request was coming.
We know.
All right, thank you, Gary, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me today. Kai, you have my contact information, so if you have any questions, follow-up questions from the board, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email. Happy to help you guys out.
Thank you again.
Thanks so much, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
We'll get a formal training when Black Creek runs. It's gonna be a one-day event where a trainer from ASB work will be out here. And we'll invite, IT, as well as myself and Celeste, will get thorough training.
And then, Mr. Kai, if we, you know, because if they're coming out, if we could maybe designate a person from High Desert as well for, you know, representation, so that we just get one night for our buck.
It's a very good point, Michelle. Here,
Let me
we'll
have-
invite you.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
great.
have a bookkeeper who's, our library aide is also helping us out with bookkeeping, and so she's, Chelsea Lavello is her name, if you need her name to invite her,
Okay.
but yes, invite both of us.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Anybody else have questions on ASB Works? No? All right, well, let's move on to facilities project status update. Yeah,
All right.
Mr. Ernest Laura is gonna give us an update.
Well, this is an update including the summer projects that we did already and new projects that we started. So we're gonna go to the first page. High Desert, we did some work in the culinary arts room to make sure the gas was working, the water was working, the garbage disposals were working. Then we reseeded the football field. We got rid of the weeds around the field itself. We replaced ceiling tiles at Vasquez High School. Drawers were repaired. We reseeded the football field as well. At Meadow Lark Elementary, we fixed the roofs on the bungalows. That was in-house. And we painted the bungalows. We did general maintenance around the campus. At the district office, we put sand and mulch around the playground for the kindergartners and TKers. We added a safety fence around the kindergarten area. Next page. Pending projects, the building 1 and building 2 of the new roof is still pending. It'll be started this coming winter.
So, Mr. Moore, when you say
Yes.
winter, you know, are we trying to
Winter break.
isolate winter break?
Yeah, whatever we can get done during winter break, we'll get started with that project. Then at High Desert, you'll see a picture of the fact after we reseeded and got rid of the weeds around the walking track and the field itself. The bushes that got trimmed around the office building, landscaping stuff. Culinary arts room, we have a picture of the actual cabinets and sinks and the dish, the washer and dryer that got donated by Mrs.
Heather Campbell.
Heather.
Mhm.
All right, Vasquez High School. Pending projects with shade structures. The guy was just calling me half an hour ago. So I'll give him a call after this. That should start pretty soon as well. Then there's a picture of the campus where the structures are gonna be located, it's gonna be in the front. That's high school, you see a picture of the LED lights that got retrofitted. And also the field itself that got reseeded during the summer.
The LED retrofit, was that something that was through Edison or?
In-house,
So Edison,
my
didn't pay
maintenance
for
guy
that?
took care of it, yes.
We couldn't get a grant from Edison?
The site's too new for that,
Right.
yeah, it wouldn't qualify.
Hmm.
So we just purchased the light bulbs and we swapped it out
I
ourselves.
just figured that they would,
Yeah.
if it's not LED, they usually.
No, or because of the age of the site, this is the only site that didn't qualify to get LEDs. High Desert got it, Metal Art got it, just Vasquez High School was not old enough to qualify for it.
Right.
Next picture, you see a picture of the all the stools that we repaired. Most of them were damaged, they're all functional now. The same thing with the drawers in the labs. Metal Arc Elementary, we did some landscape and painting of the bungalows. Completed. See a picture of the way the bungalows look after the fact.
What's good?
Yeah.
Leave it on before.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah, they're really okay.
They were really sad thing about it.
Right, at the district office, we put carpets and remodeled room 106 for a new kindergarten classroom. That was a new thing that we did after the summer. We had to open up a new classroom and we got it ready to go. We installed the sink in the cafeteria along with the water heater in the multi-purpose room. That is completed as well.
Mr. Moore, if we could just change the title, just moving forward.
Yes.
This is a staple on the agenda.
Mhm.
We could just move district office to LOLC.
Yep.
Uh,
Will
So
do.
just to
Uh-huh.
clarify.
I'll definitely do that. And you see a picture of the classroom, that's the new classroom that we put together with the new furniture in it. And you get a picture of the actual sink. That's a picture of the actual playground and also the teacher's work area that we painted and put a new flooring and new sitting tiles.
That's on the end.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I installed 2 drinking fountains brand new for TK and Kinder. Now we have the 2 of them functional with filters in it as well.
Bottom to it.
Yes, bottle fillers, there's 2 of them. Another picture of a different classroom that we also put together for Kinder. There's a picture of the fence that we put in, and also we filled in the cracks with concrete to make it safer for students and staff. There's a safety fence that we put in so the kids wouldn't run out to the transportation yard area. So they could utilize the restroom but stay away from the yard. Alright, so at the Little Owls area, we put in new door levers. We gave walkie-talkies to all teachers. Painted the staff lounge work area. Drinking fountains. Put furniture at Metal Arc Elementary. And we did data drops for Kinder and TK. And the printers for Kinder and TK. I have for this project.
So I do have just a point of clarification, because I know there was a lot of effort put into this. Going back to the Vasquez High School shade structures,
Yes.
in terms of the positioning, location of the shade structures themselves, I know there was student input that was received, right? In
Yeah,
terms of
that was
where they
through
would
the
like
students.
it.
Yeah, A and B students were out there, and also the principal was out there to see along with the dean of students.
Wonderful. Thank you. Just
You're
wanted-
welcome.
So complete consensus on,
Yes.
Yes.
sort of everything. That's
Yeah,
good.
we got their, they told us exactly where they wanted it, but
Wonderful.
And so, if we could add to the update list on this, the company that donated the scoreboard's been asking for pictures of it installed. So,
no problem. I will definitely, I already got a hold of them this morning,
yeah, that's, yeah,
so, they should have been there already today. I'll get a hold of them first thing tomorrow morning. Let's see what the, I'll get you guys an update.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
any questions, comments on that?
I just wanted to make a comment that Ernesto and his team put a lot of time in there,
Oh my God.
getting
That'll work.
the district office, the little owl facility ready, and, just working on the weekend, so very appreciative.
Yeah, this place is vibrant now, like you come by
Yes.
and it feels like a real school again. Like the first time when the first day of school I drove by, and like all these people were out, it's like, took me a minute to realize what was actually happening here. True. It's traffic on Crown Valley.
It's nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Moving on, the iLead lease screen review.
Yeah, so here's the existing contract for iLead Agua-Dulce facility. And, over to see the room,
These extras off. Anyway.
yeah, I think I have some. Yeah, well, okay. So basically, to summarize this contract is that, let me check out my notes. We charge them 10%, the rate fee, if you look at the next page, every year it goes up. And it's based on their, average day attendance, how much revenue they receive based on the LTFF calculator. So for last year, 24-25, based on the P2, the LTFF was $4,104,553. So we're gonna be charging them 9.5% of that. That equates to be about $389,932. Obviously, we charge them a 1% oversight fee as well, which equates to be $41,045. Next year, this year, for 25-26, we'll be charging them 10%, so it goes up every year. And based on this on this MOU, the building infrastructure, they are responsible for maintaining, upkeeping the facilities. However, that includes the restrooms, the building, the multipurpose room. However, the water well, as well as the septic tanks, that is the district responsibility. So we do monthly check on the water sampling, and the district pays for that. Any maintenance on the water well as well as the septic tanks, we are responsible. So if they drain the septic tank every 6 months, the district will be charged for that. And then everything else, the HVAC, the furniture, the fencing, the building facilities, iLead Agua-Dulce is
Are
responsible.
they keeping up with it?
So Ernesto's gonna talk a little bit more and present a little bit more information on the facilities at Agua-Dulce. So Ernesto, please.
Before you move on from that, what is our operating cost for that campus? What does it cost us to own it?
To maintain, so
Not maintain it, but like, what's our total cost of ownership
Mhm.
on an annual basis for that campus? You don't have to have that answer right this moment. But, you'd be curious to see whether this is a net positive or a negative for us. We're charging enough, right? Because the lease term expires.
Mhm.
We need to charge an appropriate amount that's at least commensurate with what
Yeah,
it's costing us to maintain.
Exactly.
To own it.
yeah. So on average, I really think that, since we're not using that facility, I feel that it's a cash cow for the district because, for 24-25, we're billing them for,
What's that saying? In God we trust, all others bring data.
yeah. Yeah,
Well, I'd like to see data on it.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
So we could bring that back at.
Yeah,
the
that's
subcommittee, definitely. As this lease is set to expire, end of this fiscal year.
Yeah, I'm good. So I went to Acton-Agua, do a sidewalk inspection. The electrical system's functional, working well. The water system is up to date and is working properly as well. The septic system's working good as well. Then from there, I found some items that need to be addressed. The restrooms. There's a couple drinking fountains that are in really bad condition. They need to replace all the piping and drainage. I took some pictures. After this, you'll see the pictures. Side panel in the multi-purpose room. Looks like water was hitting it. There's water damage on it. They need to be completely done. Also, the roof on the multi-purpose room needs to be patched up or replaced. That's the roof with the worst condition. The other ones don't look that bad. We did some work on them already in the past. There's some pictures on there that you guys are gonna see as well. I
Can you
found
indicate,
the,
which of these items are, we can just start over real quick, so
yes,
which of these items are our responsibility, which are theirs? Especially the ones with gaps.
so basically according to the contract, they're supposed to maintain those buildings the way we gave them to them. So they're supposed to pay for that. I'm gonna meet with the director of maintenance and operations from over there and let them know what they need to repair.
Let's make sure we document
Yeah.
exactly what the gaps
Mhm.
are and what the remediation is of each one of these items.
And I guess,
Sorry, I'll let you finish, but
yeah, but do we have, I didn't read through this one time too, but is it in here that we can do the maintenance at their cost if they do not?
Yes, if they don't do it, we get our contractors and then they have to pay us.
That's fine.
And I think the list that Mr. Mora has put together, it's on the screen right now. So it's bullet point 2 and 3, water systems and septic systems are DO's responsibility.
Yeah, and those are functional, we have no issue with them. Yep, the fire panel's working properly as well. Somehow missed that, but it's working, I checked it. So where was I? Basically, paint.
Right.
The ramps need to be painted, they're in really, the paint's faded already. There's no slipping. There's supposed to use special paint that has like sand to prevent people from slipping. So they need to be painted as well. Pretty soon you'll see the pictures. Cracks on the asphalt on the playground area. There's some really big cracks that somebody could trip and fall. Over in front of the office, there's a bungalow that somehow a vehicle impacted with it. Nobody repaired it. They just left it like that. Part of the list that they're gonna repair. The playground, somebody hit the fence as well. It's not in place. I gotta tell them to repair it as well. There's even a piece of brick missing on it. So classroom siding, there's some areas where they're starting to lift because if they're not, they need to be put back in place or replaced and painted again. Trees need to be trimmed. I found a lot of trees that are overgrown, not trimmed properly. And replace broken wood on the bus transportation area. There's like 5 or 6 round poles that need to be replaced on the bus turnout.
Like ballers or?
Just regular wood, yeah, the ones that they use for fencing around the ranches around here.
yeah, I noticed they have a lot of animals and stuff there now. Is that gonna cause any? Will that be need to remediate it anyway at some point?
We do have to put it on the MOU, because it's not on their MOU that we can have animals. So that's something we have to add on there, we're gonna allow them to put animals there.
Or what the remediation is afterwards, probably.
As long as they're cleaning up, we should be okay, there's no, it's not hurting anything, they're down below, they don't have them on top. Or they used to have them up there, but I told them they couldn't have them up there, so now they moved them down to the area where the bus turnout is located.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have they done any alterations, remodels or construction projects without your knowledge?
They, no, every time they do something, they definitely let us know, see if it's okay. Yep.
Yep.
So now we go to the next page, you'll see some pictures on there. Basically, the bus turnout area, the trees overgrown, the playground cracks, the ramps that need to be repainted. And then you'll see the fence right there that got hit by a vehicle. That's the, one of the roofs that got redone. It was in really bad condition. Right there on the right, you can see the actual, that's the multi-purpose roof.
Mm.
That will completely, right now it's sealed, but that was before when they were working on it. It's in really bad condition. It's gonna be a time when we're gonna have to replace that roof. Or someone's gonna have to replace it. Then you see a picture of a water well. It's still, it's functional, it's working
Yeah,
good. It's
at this
being
point,
treated.
They have less than a year left on their lease.
Mhm.
They're gonna be like, yeah, we're not doing any repairs. till-
Yeah, we can do it.
I mean, we can
They
do it.
know.
I'm saying there's.
Mhm. So then you jump to the next one, that's another picture of a roof that got done. See that one right there? And it
If
worked.
they don't do the repairs, are we able to withhold their funds?
Correct.
repair?
Oh, yeah, we can, look at putting their,
Well, the bottom left, that's the, sorry about that. That's the actual building that needs to be completely redone, that whole wall is
Yeah, it's
damaged.
gonna
by
get
the
hit by
water.
sprinklers or something.
Yep. There's another picture of the cracks right there as well.
Insulation's probably trash behind that wall too.
Once they take it apart, they're gonna have to do whatever they gotta do, kill if there's any mold,
Yeah,
fix it the right way.
there's something.
Yeah. Then, of course, there's also, I just wanted to show you, the front of the bungalows does look nice, it looks like it got repainted, there's no damage on it. Then you'll see the same thing with the restrooms, everything looks good, I don't see anything, just the yellow mark that needs to be painted on the bottom to keep the kids safe from getting hit by a door. The same thing with the other one, so it's not just all bad, I wanted to show you.
Yeah.
Good pictures as well. Then you'll see that, the top left, the light's broken, the ramp needs to be painted. There's nothing wrong there, I just wanted to show you, it looks good, everything's clean around there. The one on the bottom left, that's the top that you can see that a vehicle hit the roof. The whole corner's missing, caved in. And there's the drinking fountain I was talking about. There's a far away picture, and if you look closely, you can see the pipe that's leaking, it needs to be completely.
I thought those drinking fountains are illegal now anyways, aren't they?
They're not, as long as there's a filter, so there's a filter, they still sell those, we're still legally allowed to use them,
I know,
yeah.
LAUSD stuff even.
Now here, they swapped them for the bottle fillers,
Right, which is
yeah.
smarter, cause those have
Mhm.
a lot of stuff in those
Yep.
old lines.
But now they're, they do have a filter system, you can see it
Yeah,
on
see the
the,
filter.
as long as they're being filtered and the water is. And we get that water check monthly, that's what we're good. That's all I have for this report,
Thank you for that thorough review on that.
you're welcome.
So I assume we're gonna send them just a letter.
yeah, so we'll be meeting with them soon in regard to some of these outstanding facility issues, but to answer your question, is that, we can hold on their district in lieu. We can really fix these, miscellaneous facilities repairs, updates, and then bill them for the, repairs. And then if they don't, pay us, then we can look at holding their district.
Well, let's assume they're gonna do what's right.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe just give them a
We have to give
reasonable
them a
amount of
chance,
time.
see
Yeah.
if basically, if they wanna perform the repair themselves, if not, we'll definitely take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure you dictate exactly what correct and acceptable will
Oh,
look
yeah.
like for you, and then
Yeah, we'll definitely do it.
give them a reasonable amount of time to solve it.
Mhm.
If they don't solve it by that time, we'll just let them know you're gonna come back and re-inspect. And
Oh,
then-
yeah, basically just like they do to us, Williams comes out, he tells us what they want repaired,
Yeah.
then they come and we check, make sure we took care of those items.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah. I'm afraid there's some substantial things here, though, whether there's some really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But we'll get them some.
That's what my concern is. If I was a leasee, I'd be like, well, my lease is up in here, I understand I need to fix them, but let's start talking lease negotiations for
yeah.
next time before I spend all this money to fix it, you kick me out.
Well, they're contractually obligated with it.
No, they are,
Yeah,
but
they
it's still, you
Yeah, I
know,
understand. Yeah, we'll probably do the same thing.
That's a valid point.
Had a chat about that.
for sure.
Well, wait, jump to the,
All right.
next one,
Next item, is tomorrow, you're on again. Leasing buses, cost effectiveness.
yes. So Mr. Ty and I got some information from the leasing company about one of our, vendors. So basically, to purchase a bus is $274,481 with 31 cents. If we lease it for 3 years, it's 96,345 plus 289 with 35. We're gonna be paying an amount of the difference, 14,554 on top of the original price that the bus is worth. If we go with a 5 year, we're gonna be paying 60,606. And at the end, we're gonna be paying 28,549 total amounts. Set at the top of what the bus is worth. Basically, there's an extra, the longer term we have, the more we pay.
What was the residual on these buses when the end of the lease? That's a zero, that's we own it at the end of the 3 year lease.
$1.
Okay, I mean, do we need, cause the idea with the lease is that you would give them back after
Yep.
3 years and that there'd be a, you know, a $274,000 bus and it's worth, you know, 150,000 after 3 years, then you're only paying the 124 over the 3
Yep.
years and then you give it back and then you get a new bus
Yep.
instead. So I think if we do a calculation, that would be the
Then
way to
for the-
look at it instead of, we don't want, the point is we don't want them.
We don't wanna purchase.
We don't wanna own them.
Wanna be-
We just wanna lease and then, you
So it
know,
all depends, because the 7th year lease is 45,378. With the 317 with 64 cents, a total amount of 43,165.
yeah, I mean, and with these calculations, everything's done at a buyout, like where you own it $1 at the end.
Mhm.
Where we need to take a look at, okay, if we buy a new bus today, what is our total cost of ownership over the 3 years, including the price of the bus? Versus a lease where we are only paying for our usage of the bus over that period of time.
Just to lease from. Instead of
Just
bigger
because
reason.
never stop leasing, just always be leasing it. You always have new buses, you've always got the latest technology. You're getting new buses every 3 years. You're never getting into those big maintenance items that
Yeah.
you would need to do.
Exactly.
Transmission,
Right,
motors.
so-
Mhm.
You end up with an operating cost that you have every year, but you don't have these big CapEx purchases either. So I mean, if we do an analysis on it, we need to look at it from that perspective.
Okay.
All right, well, we can come back to provide that.
So that's what we got for
You are.
for easy bus.
When we look at the buses, I don't know about this one, but one of the new buses that we purchased, it does not have underneath storage.
Yeah.
And the seats are pretty close together for the
Yep.
bigger kids.
Yeah, because of the design.
Put
of
that
the
out
bus.
there that when we lease a bus, can we just make sure that the spacing
This is for our
biggest
regular,
kids?
this would be for a regular transportation bus, the ones that have the underneath storage, the air conditioning, and 95, you can fit up to 95 students, I believe, inside,
Yeah, we
little,
still
the small kids.
Right, because obviously for transporting football players. it's-
Yeah, because the ones that we purchased last time, we could only fit 75 students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
And they have to really like you.
yes, they have to really,
And they like you.
we have some bigger kids and I'm sure,
Oh, yeah.
like I only have middle school kids, but I'm sure, I know the high schoolers like.
Mhm.
But that would be the idea, right? To really take a look at our total cost of ownership on a purchase versus a lease. The leasing companies should be able to help you with this, but if you tell them your intent is to leave the maximum amount of value in the vehicle
Mhm.
and that they take it back after the 3 years. But that would be, or whatever the period of time they suggest for the lease term. 3 years, 4 years, 1 year, 5 years, whatever makes the most financial sense to do it that way.
Definitely, check on that.
We just don't wanna have all those. big-
No, and also if they're gonna cover the PM, that's what they do on the
That's
buses.
They'll usually have a PM plan for you as well, where you go to their. You know,
Normally, I think they should come to us.
yeah, they probably with a bus.
Yeah, because after a certain mileage, we have to do a PM, and then at the end of the year for the CHP inspection, we have to do a completely.
Yeah.
The whole PM on the whole bus. It's different, it's just every certain miles.
And you got a warranty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I have for the bus. Something else.
Mental health grant status of.
Yes, thank you. I'll make it brief, but as we know, last spring, district was notified from the US Department of Education that our existing active mental health demonstration grant was being terminated at the end of this calendar year, December 31st, 2025. And actually, any LEA district or organization who received this grant received the same notification. So Department of Education, the same breath and the same letter indicated that there was an appeal process. So drafted the appeal letter with statistics, data, the number of students being served, number of risk assessments, the number of staff that have been retained and hired, the numerous types of trainings that they've gone through, professional development such as CBITS, bounce back, and so forth, so on. These are all clinical type of professional development for social workers. And so in the midst of that, so they accepted, well, I shouldn't say accepted, you know, I submitted the appeal to US Department of Education. There was really no timeline when they were gonna actually respond back. In the meantime, you know, across the nation, Department of Justice was getting involved to go ahead and to see if they could actually file in federal courts an injunction to stop the termination of the mental health grants. And so in order to be part of that injunction with other organizations, LEAs and agencies, we had to go ahead as a district rescind our appeal with US Department of Education. So I put that request to rescind because there's really no timeline of what, you know, process with the US Department of Education, dates, and so forth, so on, that was outlined. And just speaking to the Department of Justice as well as various legal counsels, as well as our legal counsel for the district, they did indicate that, again, these are unprecedented times. You know, I've been a project director for multiple grants, having gone through this process before. But to, you know, with the courts, if there's an injunction, it's very definitive when it comes to timelines, process, and protocol. So they said, you know, if you have to choose between the two, go with the injunction. So we put the request to rescind our appeal with US Department of Education. And so they responded back that they've denied our appeal. So our request to rescind was somewhat ignored. And they denied our appeal. I did find out from Department of Justice that it was somewhat, with all due respect, it was somewhat of a generic letter that all of
Anybody should be able to get it.
received, so kind of a boilerplate type of response. Then the US Department of Education put an appeal to dismiss the case in federal court, the injunction. About a week ago, the judge threw out their request to dismiss. So the injunction is moving forward. The next court date is October 7th.
So still though, at this point, we will stop receiving funds at the end of this year.
Correct. You know, as of this moment, it still stands December 31st, 25, but we're going through the courts. Just speaking to the different individuals within DOJ, they're cautiously optimistic that we will prevail.
When do we start having financial impact? Like at what date? If we were to have to, I think we know what we all want, but if we have to make a decision related to
Then you-
carrying on with the program or not, When's our drop dead date for when we have to make a decision on it before we have financial impact?
I would say, a decision would need to be made November, December. So that, sort of the new year, in terms of the calendar itself, we know how we need to proceed with staff.
That's correct. Yeah, that's absolutely correct, because the funding ends on December 31st calendar year. And we won't be receiving additional funding starting January 1st and going forward until there's an outcome from the courts.
So hopefully, we hear something positive before November.
Yeah.
But, again, I'll be sharing these updates, with my superintendent reports, at board meetings. And then to have discussions with our board in terms of next steps.
Yeah, I think maybe at the next facilities and finance meeting, can we prepare just it doesn't need to be detailed, but just a high over. Should we lose these funds yet continue the program, what does that mean to our budget over the next 3 years?
Okay.
At least we can present that to the whole board before a decision on how to proceed. And then as we get closer, start thinking about reduced versions of this that we can maintain if we can't maintain everything. We have to do it on our own. I think there's a lot of people getting a lot of value from this.
Different options to.
Yeah, how we at least serve most needed on it.
So that'll be a future agenda. So. Thank you.
Future agenda items, we'll definitely get the scoreboard stuff on there and stuff, and then,
Yes.
obviously some of this stuff will stay on there. We get the bus one back on, just to take a different look at it. I think like from the perspective of talk to the right leasing company,
Mhm.
they'll buy your current fleet, whatever they want to purchase. Sell off the current fleet, new buses overall. Leave as much value in the bus as possible so that we just replace them every 3 years and they take them back and then
Okay.
they sell them off at that point. And then we can just keep our fleet new and under warranty and
Mhm.
not needing service and maintenance constantly and all those things. That would be the way to look at it from one to the other. So you really have to balance against your current operating budget that you have for, all your repairs, all your maintenance, staff, all that stuff against in your current program versus what it would look like to do it this way where you didn't need any of that, or it was being taken care of by one contractor. Anybody else have questions, comments, or anything they want to see on the next agenda?
So we should know something, at least if it's gonna continue by the next meeting of October 7th, so.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. Something positive, but yes, I mean, there are dates, and the next date in court would be October 7th, so we should hear something.
Probably.
Yeah. I'll anticipate that as well.
That would be fantastic. Alright. If there's nothing else, then we will adjourn at 5:07 PM. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.